Hi guys, this is Kayla.
And this is Becky with a couple of Bees Read.
And we also review wine. What is the wine this week, Becky?
The wine this week is by a winery that we've had their mailbag before, and you loved it. It's Legato. It is from Chile, so it's from South America. And this is their Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet Sauvignon is like my favorite wine. So it's super good. Now, I will say I've had this several times before. So it has what I find interesting about this, and it does taste different than some other cabs that I've had. Has that cherry, of course, flavor. Has a hint of coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the one with the coffee.
Yeah, right, yeah. So we've had this before, but it is a wonderful wine. And legato means connected in Spanish, and it's just about making connections in life. You know, what is your passion? What makes you happy? What makes your family happy? What is that? And so that's what our winery, Scout and Cellar is all about. Is like, life is short. If you go through all of the brands that we carry, every one of them is about passion for life. And so that's like, make this connection, and we found a connection of wine and books.
Oh yes.
So what is our book?
Our book this week is Cackle by Rachel Harrison, and you can see we kind of got a theme going with the witches.
Yes.
We're almost through October, so
I know Halloween's this week.
I know. But Rachel Harrison is a horror author that I've been meaning to read for a while. I keep getting her recommended to me. So since it was spooky season, I was like, I'm going to try Cackle. And it is a little like horror comedy-ish, because there's not a part where I was really scared, but there's definitely spooky things happening. I don't want to compare her to Grady Hendrix, because he's definitely more he's a little more gory, a little more hardcore than she is.
That's what, but harder horror, but I couldn't get that come out.
Yeah, he's a little gorier, but it was a really fun read.
Good.
The characters are really cool. It's about a school teacher living in New York named Annie, and her longtime boyfriend, like he dumps her one night, and she thinks he's about to propose, but he breaks up with her. And she's this very kind of passive person. Like, he breaks up with her. Well, okay, if that's what he wants to do, kind of situation.
I started reading this.
Yeah.
And then she took it.
Yes. But she's very passive about the whole thing, agrees to break up, agrees to move out of their apartment that they've owned, or been, both have their name on it. And she moves to a small... I know, right? She moves to a small town in upstate New York. And when she gets there, it's just delightful. It's like a Hallmark Channel town. And eventually she meets Sophie, who is this beautiful, mysterious woman. She looks to be about Annie's age, Annie being the school teacher from New York. Annie starts her new job as a high school teacher, and the kids are jerks, and nothing else seems to be going her way, which, by the way, is, as a former teacher, yes, accurate. Like, this might be fantasy, but kids as jerks, yes, it fits.
And then you love them anyway.
Yes, you do. But she becomes friends with Sophie, and everything just seems to go right when Sophie's around. And eventually she realizes that Sophie is a witch and that she's been alive for centuries. And this isn't really a big twist, because you see this coming, but then Annie starts getting powers of her own. So we have this meek and mild character at the beginning, and I love a well-developed character with a beautiful character arc, and that is Annie from beginning to end. She starts out so meek and mild and just like passive, letting this guy run over, letting the students in her classroom run over, just very kind of passive character. And then once she realizes that she has a power of her own, that she doesn't need necessarily doesn't need a man, doesn't need other people to make her feel better about herself. Like, she really comes into her own, and it's wild, the things that happen, and it's such a good book with such a good character
That's
arc.
got to be my next week. I mean, Halloween is next week. I have got to read it in my hands.
It is so very good. I'm actually reading Rachel Harrison's newest novel right now, Black Sheep, which is it's about a cult. Yeah, cult life.
Wow.
So, but again, horror comedy, and I feel like had anyone else written the character of Annie, like if I sat down and tried to write the character in this book, I wouldn't have been able to make her a likable character because she is so passive at first.
Yeah.
But Harrison just does an excellent job of giving us this character that we love from beginning to end. But in the end, we're like, not only do we love her, we want to be her best friend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because she's just a super cool character. And it's a super cool book. If you haven't read it and you still have time, spooky season, read it. If you don't have time, spooky season, just,
read it anyway.
Read it. Yeah, read it anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're the type of person that you don't read horror novels, this might actually be one horror novel you can read.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's not frightening.
Yeah.
It's just, there's some fantasy elements to it. And spiders.
Yeah.
There are a lot of spiders. But they're friendly spiders. They smile.
There's nothing friendly about a spider.
They smile and they clean the house. They're great.
No.
So check out Cackle. And until next time, bye guys.
Bye.